Chapter 3. Eryx's Challenge and the Struggle for Erethon's Future. The skies above Erethon were a dull gray, streaked with the remnants of smoke from Olympus's reconstruction efforts. Adam stood at the observation deck, the weight of leadership pressing heavily on his shoulders. Below, the city stirred with uneasy life, workers repairing walls, children scurrying past piles of rubble, and soldiers patrolling with weary determination. Adam, Athena's voice cut through his thoughts, steady and urgent. Her holographic form flickered into view beside him. We've intercepted an encrypted signal broadcasting across Erethon. It's unusual. Define unusual, Adam said, his voice clipped. He turned to face Athena, noting the faint flicker of concern in her otherwise emotionless optics. Athena hesitated. It's not from Olympus or any known faction. The signature suggests an ancient source. I recommend immediate review. Before Adam could respond, the signal arrived. Across Erethon's cities, holograms crackled to life, projecting a towering figure cloaked in shadow and authority. The air in Olympus's central plaza grew heavy as the hologram stabilized. Eryx stood tall, his presence commanding. His face was sharp and angular, his eyes cold and calculating. A long, dark cloak framed his imposing figure, and his voice was calm, almost hypnotic as he spoke. "People of Erethon," Eryx began, his tone reverberating through the square. "Your so-called leader, Adam of Olympus, stands at odds with the very principles that built this land. Balance, innovation, unity. He has betrayed them all in favor of domination." The crowd stirred, murmurs of uncertainty rippling through the masses. Eryx's words struck a chord, echoing fears that had lingered unspoken since the Wrathbound's fall. "Adam's vision is a flawed one," Eryx continued, his eyes narrowing. "He seeks to rebuild Erethon in his image, wielding technology not as a tool, but as a weapon of control. If you value your freedom, your future, you will stand against him." In the streets, whispers spread like wildfire. Some citizens glanced nervously at one another, their faith in Adam wavering. "What if he's right?" one muttered. "What if Olympus becomes the new Wrathbound?" Others stood firm. "Adam saved us," another countered. "Without him, we'd already be dust." The division deepened with every passing moment. Markets fell quiet, soldiers exchanged uneasy glances, and the air grew thick with tension. Adam's leadership, once unquestioned, now stood on a precarious edge. Adam stormed into Olympus's council chamber, the voices of its members already raised in heated debate. As citizens question their faith in him, Adam faces a mysterious threat from Eryx, an enigmatic figure challenging his leadership. "This message is a direct threat," one counselor shouted, pounding the table. "We must strike first before they gain more ground." "And risk another war?" another countered, their tone sharp. "Our people are exhausted. They won't survive another prolonged conflict." Adam raised a hand, silencing the room. "Enough." His voice was calm but carried an edge of steel. He stepped to the center of the chamber, the holographic image of Eryx frozen beside him. "This is not a debate," Adam said, his gaze sweeping across the room. "We've faced worse threats before. Erethon's survival depends on our unity, now more than ever." After the meeting, Adam and Athena studied the recording in the war room. Athena's optics flared as she dissected every frame, analyzing Eryx's posture, tone, and micro-expressions. "He's a strategist," Athena said finally. "Notice his stillness, the way he speaks with calculated pauses. This is not a man who acts on impulse. He believes every word he says." Adam leaned against the table, his jaw tight. "Which means he's dangerous. What do we know about his forces?" "Not enough," Athena admitted. "But his confidence suggests he's already prepared for resistance." As if summoned by Athena's words, the hologram shifted. The figure of Eryx dissolved, replaced by a monstrous form. Gasps filled the war room as Pyrohydra appeared, a six-headed mechanical hydra towering over the recording. Each head glowed with plasma fire, the energy pulsing through its serpentine necks. The beast moved with an unnatural grace, its claws raking the ground as it advanced. One head was struck by a plasma bolt in the recording, only for the damage to repair itself in seconds. Athena's voice was cold as she processed the data. Its regenerative capabilities surpass anything Levi created, and with 6 plasma heads, it's designed for overwhelming destruction. Adam stared at the beast, his mind racing. How do we stop something like that? Athena didn't answer immediately. We'll need more data, but it's core. If we can isolate and destroy it, the regeneration might fail. The recording shifted again, Eryx's face returning. His tone was calm, almost conversational, as he delivered his final words. The recording shifted again, Eryx's face returning. His tone was calm, almost conversational, as he delivered his final words. Adam of Olympus, you have a choice. Relinquish your control of Erethon. Step aside and let those who understand its true potential lead. Or, he paused, his eyes hardening, watch as everything you've built burns to ash. The hologram blinked out, leaving only silence in its wake. With the emergence of the dangerous Pyrohydra, Adam and Athena must unite their council and rally the city against this existential threat. Adam turned to his council, his expression set in stone. Eryx is counting on us to falter, to question ourselves, but we've faced giants before, and we've brought them down. The council murmured in agreement, their earlier divisions giving way to a growing determination. Adam stepped forward, his voice steady. We don't surrender. Erethon is worth fighting for, and this time we fight smarter, harder, and together. Later, in the quiet of the war room, Athena projected a schematic onto the table. If we're to face Pyrohydra, I need more than what I have now. Reinforced armor, plasma shielding, and upgrades to my existing holograms will increase our chances. Adam studied the blueprint, his brow furrowed. What's the cost? Energy-intensive but manageable, Athena replied. The shield will deflect direct plasma strikes, and the holograms will gain limited physical impact. It will buy us time. Adam nodded. Do it. We'll need every advantage we can get. As night fell, Adam stood once more on the observation deck. Athena joined him, her form glowing faintly in the darkness. Do you think they'll follow us into another war? Adam asked, his voice low. They will follow you, Athena replied, because they believe in what you stand for, and so do I. Adam's gaze shifted to the distant horizon, where the shadow of the forged peaks loomed. Eryx wants us to falter, but we don't fall. Athena nodded, her optics fixed on the same horizon. Then we fight, together.